More gold is required.
This was an interesting set of rerolls. I think what happened was that I rerolled Assassin. I really wanted to get a Dispel unit, I guess. A lot of different options here.
Research complete.
Insufficient gold. Insufficient gold. Insufficient gold. Upgrade finished.
More gold is
Your
required.
building is
More gold is required.
Your building is complete.
I think that there's a really decent chance that he just plays all Banshee or all even Dryads here. Oh, Spirit Walkers. That's interesting. I really should have been played back here. This was really bad. And I played forward. Question is, should I just hero here? I think I do. Now we know that he has Dispel, so I feel like any anti-ghoul hero now is like really good. I could, I guess alternatively, have just gone more Gargs here, but I don't want to be stuck on no hero for too long. Especially now that we lost our push.
More gold is required.
Your building is complete.
Research complete.
Not very good heroes here. Unfortunately, also, we're behind in lane, which is problematic here. So part of our issue here is that if we hadn't have had the game turned on us, the thing that we actually would have done was just mass ghouls probably into ghoul walker fiend, but because tempo was lost already, we actually didn't have a whole lot of gameplay in order to do that. If we were, sorry, we're having shamans leaked into us, so our ghouls will just die if we continue to play that way. Like, I really wish that what we could do would be to mass ghouls here, but we have to see what leaks into us.
Your building is complete. Your building is complete. Your building is complete. Your building is
It almost looks like orange can win, but not quite. Yeah, not quite. So the thing is, we don't actually lose our ghouls here, which is good. Maybe this is even worth an upgrade right here. Fortunately, we just kind of get hosed. Losing our push was really bad. Not really sure what to make here. Okay, he has shade, so I'm glad I didn't make an assassin, I guess.
your building is complete.
It's very difficult because we just don't actually have enough to turn here in our lane. Also, unfortunately, orange is going for something that's going to be countered by these banshees eventually. So we kind of have a tight timeline here. He doesn't save any of his lightning shield for his next lane, which is not ideal.
Your building is complete. Your building is complete.
I mean, it's really problematic, right? I'm really close to just hitting mine this game. I don't feel like we have a good... Like, the problem is we need to get to bears at this point. It just doesn't feel possible right now with the lanes that we have. Yeah, I'm just getting melted, but because I don't get any experience on my Dreadlord. We got really bad hero choices, obviously. We kind of wanted anything other than like a generic low power melee hero, but that was all we were kind of offered. The other ones were worse. We couldn't take Beastmaster or Farseer really, because we're already into Dispels.
Insufficient gold. Insufficient gold. Insufficient gold. Insufficient gold. Insufficient gold.
Fortunately, I do think that this is probably the only lane that really has a chance, but the fact that he has this Demon Hunter here, purple does not have a lot into this. And I'm still a level 1 hero. It's really bad. This is all really bad. Orange gets a small stack, but I think that this is going to not be equivalent to the damage that he's going to take here.
Your building is complete. Upgrade finished. Your building is complete.
Research complete. Research
Our
complete.
allies' town.
Now, we still haven't actually seen the E unit for red yet, so this could actually be Banshee still. But he's actually on Torin Walker here, which I think pretty much just shows that we're going to lose the tower now. It's possible that we actually get our own tower fight here a little bit to some degree. That could be something that would help us, but it looks like we're just outside of range.
Take your time. Look around.
No, he actually looks like he's going to win this. I think I play forward now.
I'm awake. How can I help? My strength is yours.
We can't build.
A little worried that we could see Banshees here, but
Yes, Lord Chief.
Your building is complete.
unfortunately, even with this stack, definitely seems that we have really bad fighting against the Torin Walker. We're on bears, and they're on Torin Walker. We don't have the Banshees. Here's Destro now. I mean, we have Gargs into this, but doesn't matter, right? We still don't know what Red's E unit is either. Yeah, the Torin Walker actually kind of splatted us this game. The fact that we don't have a Banshee player and they have multiple Torin Walker players is really rough. The fact that I'm still level 2 here, also really bad.
Hello.
More gold
Your
is
building is
required.
complete. Your building is complete.
This purple has a good lane here. I don't know if I win this or not, to be honest. I don't feel like I do. I probably need to have more... Well, I mean, fortunately they also stack a guy. We're really close here, but... I think we just need more frost worms here, probably. Are you watching the World Cup? I'm not really. I live pretty close to some of the live person games, and it feels so stupid that there's like so expensive that it's just like not even worth doing. What else am I doing here? I probably need to make my own 𝕓𝕝𝕔𝕕 now, right? I don't even have enough.
Our allies' town needs our building.
Fortunately, I'm just really behind on hero levels. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make my own 𝕓𝕝𝕉s now. I'm just 2 levels behind.
What is it now?
This is very painful.
Our allies' town will help.
Thing is, I do have a gigacomp situation on my hands, right? Like, the fact that we have 𝕓𝕝𝕉, 𝕓𝕝𝕉, Frostworm, Bear, means that we can create a really, really strong comp. I feel like our best option here is that maybe eventually if Teal's Banshees are gonna die, or we can outscale the Demon Hunter power.
More gold is required. More gold is required. More gold is required. More gold is required.
But yeah, we're really far behind on Infernal. The fact that we have the lowest level hero, because the lane dynamic was so bad for us, is really bad. I'm not really sure. It really sucks that he has tanks as well. He has a Giga comp as well, unfortunately, and it's totally uncountered from my perspective. Hey, fucking volcano me. I'm a level 3 hero, man. Damn, I should have taken the fucking sleep, I guess. Hey, GG, well played. Thanks for the Prime sub. That means a lot.
What is it now? Our time is short.
Your building is complete.
Still, I do think that eventually we may be able to win in the air. It just sucks. They're so far ahead of us in hero levels. Maybe stack CL and play back perp.
More gold is required. More gold is required. More gold is required. More gold is required.
Your building is complete.
Alright, so he did get a DK, which is really annoying for us to fight. No volcano this turn. Our bears are just like actually losing on the ground to the Tauren. It just is what it is, right? Oh man. I guess it's over. GG. That was a good old get behind, stay behind game. Very hard to do anything there. Yeah, I mean, Inferno turn would have been good. I mean, absolutely. It's actually just that we never even had. We were so far behind in hero levels because we kept facing stacks. We kept having our hero get splatted by and not getting any experience into the next wave after the tower. Well, we got a good turn for our team really early on by playing the shaman. That turned out to be good, but yeah, I think that it was just probably a Banshee diff this game. I mean, they were able to play Indutor and Walker really easily because we showed our shamans. So, I mean, I guess it deserved. I still think we could have been fine there if we could have lasted until the Infernal. Because I do think that we probably would have outscaled them someday, but they just got so many hero levels above us that like I'm dying immediately in my lane with my Dreadlord, and his hero is actually they're all stacking. They have Firelord got multiple stacks and Warden got multiple stacks. So then they end up in a situation where they actually like have so many hero levels on us that it kind of feels impossible to clear. If we were winning by like a little bit more in our own second fight with the Dreadlord, then and we could have gotten level 6, maybe we could have stabilized. I mean, as scary as Torn Walker is, like, I mean, Bear, Frostworm, Shaman, Distro is like also pretty strong if it's uncountered, so could have been possible. Yeah, no Banshee on our team like actually kind of screwed us. I do like what we did a little bit more early in the game. I think that one mistake that we made was not playing back like wave 3 or 4 when we first sent our Gargs. I think that if we had played back that turn, maybe we would have helped our teammate a little bit more, and maybe just that much was what he would need to win. Got you, Watchy. Hope y'all are having a good day. What's up, Mr. Amar? They're doing so wrong in draft. I'm I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm going to guess that it is a combination of a different mentality, or I don't think that the game is so different in draft mode versus two reroll mixed. I think that's what I'm going to call this, two reroll mixed. That's the best way to describe this, right? This is the new mode. I don't personally believe that there is such a huge difference between draft and two reroll mixed that it can possibly explain like a very significant change in MMR. That said, I mean, nice job on getting a lot of MMR. People do have gone through really big swings in this game, Mr. Imar. I mean, it happens. Like I would say that a lot of the times that it happens, it's because you end up in a situation where mentally you get stuck on a certain strategy that isn't actually that effective. And the longer you stick on that strategy and the more convinced you are that it works, then the lower you sink. Um, I mean, like Trill dropped from like what was it like 2300 to like 1600 or something like that, in like a crazy like. I mean, it's just like everything is going against you. You feel like very tilted. You are making like really bad decisions, and so it's like everything combines, like both variance and your own play like combined for like really low lows. And then the moment you turn it around, you actually are very underrated in certain skills by the time you like fall to all the way down. So then you crush your games for a while and gain a lot of rating. But honestly, like falling 500 MMR happens in this game. It's like it's crazy because like I don't think in like Warcraft 3 melee it's possible, right? Like in order to get to 2500 or something in the first place, there's no way that if you just keep playing you can suddenly drop to like 2000, right? Like your mechanics are so much better than a 2000 player that there's no way that even if you're in a slump or whatever that you can really fall that far behind. But I think in direct strike it's totally possible to get caught up in your own world playing strategies that aren't working or aren't to your strong suit, getting a little bit unlucky with teammates, then all of a sudden, yeah, you can absolutely crater in direct strike. Yeah. Yeah, the luck factor is way lower. Variance in Warcraft 3 melee is like is significantly lower. But here's another thing about that. Variance is lower, but the variance in direct strike is a lot of what creates its skill cap. If the game were extremely low variance, the game would probably have quite a low skill cap. A lot of the skill expression in direct strike is knowing how to perform in really different situations that are created essentially by RNG. And I would say that that's true for most strategy games. I think that strategy games that try to fuck how much RNG is involved typically don't fare all that well. Yeah, I mean, getting the combos is actually a little bit easier in mixed because as long as you have decent pattern recognition or to reroll mixed, that is, Because as long as you have decent pattern recognition, you see everything in your draft, right? It's like you see that you have, like, you can't pick Huntress in draft because you don't know whether you're going to get Necros or Skin Flayers, right? I'm still convinced even in draft it still might be possible to play Huntress if you know you have Skin Flare and Necromancer. But in mixed, you can actually kind of like scout ahead for these things, and then if you're just missing one key piece, you can like reroll that slot. So I do think that especially in two reroll mixed, it's a little bit easier to get like all of these combos. It's easier to actually have a proactive combo in reroll mixed, I think, than even in draft. But that's kind of a hot take. I actually don't know. I think it's interesting because how Hunt's Necro combo works. I'm in a tier 2 for Necro. It's like a lot of things, it's going to depend a lot on what happens in the early game. Um, I would say that you really would not want to do it between 6 and 8 Huntresses. Like the ideal thing that happens is that you build up Huntresses and you kind of force your opponent to build things like W units, ideally. And then when you and more of their Q units, like their footmen or whatever, and then you kind of bait, yeah, bait and switch. Then all of a sudden you're playing Necros. It buffs your Huntresses a lot, so you want to have enough that it's worth it. And then they also have to deal with the skeletons, which a lot of dispellers aren't that great against Huntresses to begin with. What's your favorite combo or easy combo for 2K? The thing is, I don't really think that it's hard for me to say. I wouldn't think about the game that way normally. I mean, I think that things like Huntress Necro would probably win a lot of games at 2K. Is that any better than playing I'm betting that at 2K playing Banshees correctly is the way to crush most of those games. That if you can play Banshees really well and understand how to do AMS walks, how to do tech timings in order to steal all their shit, how to use Banshees to protect your ghouls and footmen well. I would guess that that is the single easiest way to gain MMR because I see people even at like even above 2000 playing into Banshees completely incorrectly, doing shit like trying to dispel the AMS with priest or whatever, and it like all of these options don't work. I think that that's what my say would be. But that isn't easy. Playing Banshees well is actually not that easy because if you end up in the wrong situation with Banshees, then they're gonna feel like paperweights that they're not gonna really do a whole lot. Like playing a comp that's going to be a counter to the meta. Like a lot, I'm assuming a lot of people are especially in new mixed are playing bears. They're playing Torn Walker, and playing like good counter comps to that will probably be the best one. At the end of the day, a lot of the times in direct strike, the best comp that you can do, the most powerful thing that you can do, is a strong counter to your opponent. If you have a strong counter to what your opponent is doing, then most of the time you're going to be far stronger than if you just go for your own like scaling strategy or something like that. But that depends on how good your meta read is, and sometimes luck. Because if you go for a counter comp and you don't, they're not actually playing the thing that you're trying to counter, then you do lose a lot of value. Fortunately, we are stuck on the Q boss here a little bit today. We got one game really fast, and now we are waiting. By the way, guys, is the tier list working for you guys? Are these links working now? I know that some people were having trouble accessing them before or something. At the end of the day, I would say that unlike Warcraft 3 Melee or I don't know, playing like I don't know, Street Fighter or something, like if somebody is trying to get good at one of those games or League of Legends even, your best likelihood of quick improvement is just slamming games with like a single race or a single character or a single faction. I'm gonna be a Ryu main and like I'm gonna spam 1,000 games with Ryu, and it's like maybe all my other characters it doesn't even matter. I'm like 1,500, but then you can level up very quickly by just playing one thing. But Direct Strike really doesn't allow that. It's much more that you have to play and understand every single unit in order to get good. And if there's like specific units or combinations of units that you feel like you just don't know how to play at all, that will cost you MMR because eventually you're going to have to. And if you just I don't know, try and cheese all of the games that you get those units, then it's going to be bad. And it is so yeah. I mean, the main skill there's very few shortcuts in Direct Strike. I mean, you can just try and cheese like certain drafts, but you're only even going to have the draft for that like 10% of the time or something, or maybe 20 if you really roll for it or something. You're not always going to have the situation where a cheese is even possible. So, and then you can like say like, okay, well, maybe I don't have exactly the cheese draft, so I'm gonna like try and cheese with like a shit cheese draft, and then it's even worse, right? Then your success rate's gonna fall down a lot. But these are all just a mix of thoughts. Banshee Breaker, yeah. Torn Walker. Necro Hippo Rider, Necro Hippo Rider. So there was one other thing that I could have done that last game. I mean, I really wanted to play the bear draft. In reality, it's entirely possible that the best way to play that draft would have been to re-roll our bears and try to get something that would be able to that we'd actually be able to carry with a little bit more on the tower. Maybe I don't want to think too much about that last game. I think that most likely our biggest problem was actually just ending up with a really bad hero option. Yeah, I can try to talk through it a little bit more. It's hard because there's actually a lot that I could say about each individual draft, and like why I think that certain things are good, but it's like one of those things where like if you count the combinations of different drafts that there are and different like possibilities for what units you can get. It is funny. This song literally just has the line, "There's no time to explain," right? But how this combo work? Okay, so here's the thing: banshees are have a lot of different purposes. They have at least two very main questions that they ask your opponent. And the idea is that even if they have one of those answers, then Breaker can help deny. Like if you're using AMS, Breakers slot really well into that plan because actually they're magic immune as well. It's also really good to counter things like summons. Like you have your breakers counter the summons, like because summons are actually pretty good against Banshee. It's one of the few things like early game people are going to go for. You're basically making, if you think about the game in terms of compositions of what your entire army is trying to do, and not just an individual unit, the Banshee Breaker can make it so that a lot of the time your opponent might literally have nothing good to play, or everything that they can play is actually just like very mediocre. By the way, so I'm gonna start blocking my teammates' drafts. I don't want to show that because if they get stream sniped, I don't want them. I don't. And luckily, since I'm almost always going to be blue, it's pretty easy to do. But then I'll show mine. So, okay, here's what I'm thinking this draft. So we have some really good mercs. We have a really bad tier 1. I don't like this tier 1 at all. The tier 2 could be playable. And the Griffin, it's actually okay because what we have is we already have Gargs. So I think what I'm going to do here is reroll tier 1. See what we get. All right, now this is a really bad reroll for tier 1. I guess I can't click this again. I almost want to reroll this entire draft now. But I don't feel like I can reroll Destro. So I think what I'm going to do is actually just reroll Sork. Or, wow, I actually... I mean, that's the thing with mixed, right? You can always reroll into the exact same thing twice. And it just is what it is, right? I mean, to say the obvious... Yeah, I'm just going to skip here. But to say the obvious here, Grunt Rifle Sorceress is much better than Hunt Archer Sorceress. We do have Skin Flares, so there is something here. Hey, what's up, Trill? I haven't played that much Hunt, so I do really want to like try to see how it performs in new mixed. But when I look at this, I especially against ghouls, I mean, I very much worry here. Like if I had better options on like tier 2 and 3, I could consider like decking here and just like playing the Gargs. But it doesn't really feel like that's actually good because like what am I actually teching for here? It doesn't even make sense, right? We have to play tier 1. Hey, what's up, Crueler?
Our allies' town is
It's playable though. Yeah.
Can I help you?
I like the new mix mode. I don't feel like I've played enough games to really decide. I will say that right now I like it. I think that for one thing, there's actually just kind of been like a pretty big lack of people like a lack of like metagame shift or whatever in Direct Strike. So in a lot of ways, I actually do like the fact that there's just something new to do. And I think that it definitely scratches the itch of like, this is like probably the most small change, but it feels very impactful that we could really do in the game.
Your building is complete. Your building
Demand
is
additional
complete.
lumber. More gold
Your
is
building
required.
is complete. Your building is complete.
Oh man. Okay, this is bad.
We must lend aid to our allies.
Is there like a bug fix patch or anything on the road, Kenny? No pressure to answer if you don't know. I'm just curious. I know that he said oh no, but I really wish people would like just call it if they're leaking like something like that. Because I'm like trying to move my army at the last second and it's actually like really annoying to do that. Isn't there like a shaman bug or something, Kenny? Did I read your post wrong about how shaman work or something? Did I misunderstand? It's entirely possible that I did.
Building is complete. Your building Your building is complete.
Can I help you?
Make it fast. Make it fast.
You want axe?
Speak your mind.
Who'd you want to kill?
In position. Absolute standing guard. Get down, Sparky. Your building is complete. Your building is
Can I
complete.
help you?
Your building is complete. Your building is complete.
Oh, it fucking sucks, man. Just like facing this leak every time. It's so hard to tell like what's gonna happen with it. The question is, yellow gonna win here or not?
Your building is in position. Your building
More
is
gold is required. More gold is required.
Your building is complete.
Interesting.
We must lend aid.
Nice forward hippo pull. Nah, it didn't work. This is actually bad. Definitely staying one here for now.
Upgrade finished. Your building is complete. Your building is complete. Your building is complete.
Yeah. Instant click mines.
Research complete.
This is another great example of how we were able to save our push just by not instantly clicking mines. That's all we had to do. One simple trick. Now we're still in a little bit of a tricky spot because he has so many banshees, but we want him to force him to make more, right?
Your building is complete. Your building is complete.
More gold is required.
Your building is complete.
lam무르 형 元気だったか。久しぶりだな。ええ、あなたも元気そうだ。僕の蘭丸、バカ野郎、いきなり抱きつくな。苦しい。失礼。でも蘭丸、3ヶ月ぶりの再会なんですよ。僕は早くあなたを独り占めしたい。今日は一人ですか？おう、組の連中は巻いてきたぜ。この情熱的なイタリア男はアルベルト・バレンティアノ。コスタ・アルティスタ号ってご大層な名前のどでかい客船の船長だ。そんなやつと関東大海組三代目若頭のこの俺、近江蘭丸がなんでこんな船着き場で落ち合っているかというと、それで今度はいつまでいられるんだ？あなたが望むならいつまでもと言いたいところですが、今回は1週間です。すみません。バーカ、男は仕事をきっちりこなして一人前。1週間もあれば十分だ。その間しっかり付き合ってもらうからな。ええ、たとえあなたが飽きたと言っても話しませんよ。蘭丸、会いたかった。愛してます。まあ、つまりそういうわけだ。半年前、俺は都政の義理から4つ年上の幼なじみ薫と結婚することになった。その薫がどうしても豪華客船で式を挙げたいなんてわがまま言いやがるから、仕方なく乗り込んだ客船があるの船だったってわけで、前回来日した時、あなたと2人で行った温泉旅行、素敵でしたね。貸し切りの露天風呂でのあの思い出。ああ、3ヶ月経った今でも思い出すと胸がときめいてめまいがしそうです。ある、ここで鼻血出すなよな。落ち着け。で、どこまで喋ったっけ？そうだ、それでその新婚旅行先のイタリアで俺は路頭に迷ったり妙な奴らにさらわれたりいろいろあったわけなんだが、その度にあるに助けられて、愛してるなんて言われちまってよ。さすがに俺も悩んだぜ。でも俺はこいつを自分の懐に入れて絶対離さないって決めたんだ。ところで今日は奥方は？奥方？ああ、薫か。あいつならバーゲンだかなんだかで朝から張り切って買い物しに行ったぜ。ショッピングですか。いいですね。そうだ、僕たちも何か買いませんか？何かって何をだよ。2人の愛の記念品なんてどうです？まったくお前はやたら愛だの恋だの言ってくるキザな野郎だけど、それもひっくるめて俺はまっすぐなこいつが好きなんだ。
楽しかった。あのブランドが6割引きだなんて久しぶりに燃えたわ。
いやー、姉さんの底力たっぷり拝見しやしたぜ。辺りの雑魚には目もくれず狙った獲物を確実に仕留める。さすがでさ。
掘り出し物を勝ち取っただけじゃない。もう一目で仇じゃないってわかる格好で私に話しかけないで。
失礼しやした。
あれ、あいつ権藤隆二だわ。あんな路地裏で何やってんのかしら。
町な兄ちゃん、人にぶつかってきて挨拶もなしか？
はあじゃねえんだよ。
ねえ、私の荷物持って先に帰ってて。
へい、あ、姉さん。
おい、今俺の財布に手出そうとしただろう。
変な言いがかりつけんじゃねえよ。
じゃあなんで俺の内ポケットに収まってた財布が地面に落ちてんだよ。てめえ子供だからってしらばっくれてんじゃねえぞ。
知るかそんなこと。話せ。自分で尻餅つきやがったぜ。大丈夫かいお嬢ちゃん。うるさいチンピラ。
あら風口の利き方も知らねえのか。
そうだな。こういう生意気なガキにはしっかり教えてやんねえとな。それが大人の責任ってもんだ。おい。
ちょっとあんたたち。
カオル、なんだってこんなところに。
偶然よ。まったく何やってんのよ。
いや、これにはちゃんとした訳があるんだ。
あらそう。大の大人が大勢で子供一人を取り囲んでよっぽどのわけなのよね。ちょっと君大丈夫？
そう言うけどな、こいつ俺の財布すろうとしたんだぜ。なあ、ほんとっすよ。こいつが。
あら、やだこの子ランバルに似てる。大人になったらいい男になりそうね。将来有望だわ。ああ、この子の学ラン襟元が破けちゃってるじゃない。リュウジ、あんたこの子に何したの？
何ってちょっとしつけてやっただけじゃねえか。
何がしつけよう。乱暴したくせに。この子の学ラン弁償なさい。
いえ、これくらい別に。
いいえ。家はどこなの？この近く？
今は銀賞って小料理屋の2階に親父と2人で住んでます。
リュウジ、分かったわね。後でちゃんとお詫びに行きなさいよ。
なんだって俺が。
いいから行く。
めんどくせえな。
聞こえたわよ。
はいはい、わかりました。くそ、とんだケチがついちまったぜ。おい、行くぞ。へい。もうどうなってんの？
ありがとうございました。
やだ、やめてよ。君、年はいくつなの？高校生？
はい、18です。
顔立ちといい、体つきといい。見れば見るほど似てるわ。
俺の顔に何かついてますか？
ああ、ごめん。ちょっと知り合いに似てたもんだから。さっきのやつは九龍会の権藤っていうヤクザ者なの。私一応近江組三代目若頭の女房なのね。だからあんなやつ蹴散らすぐらいわけないわ。はいこれ、うちの連絡先。ヤクザとの関わりはヤクザで解決ってね。困ったことがあったらいつでもいらっしゃい。
どうも。
じゃあね。
近江組って確か親父のいた組なんじゃ。
おう、カオル、帰ったぜ。
あ、ランマルやっと帰ってきた。アルベルトさんとは久しぶりだし、仲良くするのは結構だけど、いつまでも待たせんじゃないわよ。
待たせるんじゃないってなんだよ。お前が勝手に待ってたんだろ。
一応私はあんたの奥さんなんだからね。あ、そうそう、今日ね、ランマルに似た高校生がリュウジに絡まれてたのを助けてあげたの。その子チンピラに囲まれても堂々としててかっこよかったわ。
へえ、そうかい。
やだこれ、ランマル判決で鼻水垂れてる。
おいてめえ、何見てやがんだ。
何って、あんたの子供の頃のアルバムだけど。
バカ、人の写真勝手に見んじゃねえよ。
何よ、いいじゃない。暇つぶしで眺めてただけなんだから。だいたい携帯くらい持ちなさいよ。使い方がわからないからって部屋に置きっぱなしちゃ意味ないでしょ。ねえこれ、あんたも今度もボコボコじゃない。どっちが勝ったの？
どれ？ああ、そん時は決着がつく前に親父に殴られた。
そういえばあんたこの人に懐いてたわよね。
おう、銀次か。 そういや銀次には世話になったな。
いい男だわ。
だろう、寡黙で渋いやつだったぜ。あれは確か俺が12の頃だったか。
どうして龍ちゃんを殴って泣かせたの？訳をおっしゃい。
嫌だ、言いたくない。
まったくあんたって子は頑固なところうちの人そっくりなんだから、しばらくそこで反省してなさい。
若さん、
銀次、
泥を落としやしょう。男前が台無しです。若さん、姉さんが叱ったのは友達を殴ったからじゃねえ。若さんが本当のことを言わなかったからです。
これは俺とあいつの男同士の問題で、だからおふくろでも言えねえんだ。
そうですかい。だったらこの板前の銀次にだけこっそり教えてやってくれやせんか。そんな小さいなりでもさすが近江一家の跡取りだ。男同士の社会を立派に作り上げてなさる。
よし銀次、絶対秘密だぞ。
へい。
あのな、ゴンドウの野郎、カオル姉の風呂を一緒に覗こうって言うんだ。俺はやめようって言ったんだけどよ。でもカオルってすげえ母音なんだぜ。ちょっとドキドキした。
そうですかい。若さんも女の肌に興味のある年頃になったんですね。
けどゴンドウのやつ、いきなり俺のチンチン触ってきてよ。大人になる遊び教えてやるって。あそこ硬くなってきて気持ちいいって聞かれたけど、あいつの顔が気持ち悪かったからつい殴っちまった。
若さん、ゴンドウんちの小せがれと遊ぶのはもうおやめなせい。ゴンドウの野郎、息子にどういう教育してやがんで。いくら若さんが愛らしいお子だからってよ、大事なマラにいたずらするとは許さねえ。戦争だ。
わかった。銀次がそう言うならもう遊ばねえ。でもあれって何？あそこ硬くなったらどうなの？銀次、知ってるなら教えてくれよ。
若さん、
な、ゴンドウより銀次に教えてほしいよ。
いけやせんぜそれ。あっしはこの家の台所を任されているだけの男で。
銀次、おめえを男と見込んで言ってるんだ。
おやっさん、よそんちの小せがれに持っていかれる前に、ここはてめえが何とかするべきでしょうか。
なあ銀次。
なあ、てめえは何をドキドキしてるんだ。
銀次、どうした？手が震えてるぞ。
いえ、何でもございやせん。手は
とま、そんなわけで俺は銀次に男ってもんを教わったわけだ。懐かしいな。
それからそれでどうなったの？
それから銀次の様子がおかしくなってよ。
おかしいって？
俺と目を合わせようとしねえんだ。
あんたが頼んだんでしょ？
おう、俺は気にするなって言ったんだけどよ。気持ちよかったし。でもなんか思い詰めた顔して突然旅に出ちまった。今時珍しい一本気で生真面目な男だったぜ。
今どこにいるの？
さて、どこでどうしてるやら。もう一回会いてえな。
きっとそのうちひょっこり帰ってくるわよ。案外近くにいたりしてね。
そうだな。そのうちばったり会うかもしんねえな。
よし。なんだ親父、風邪か？
いや、ちょいと鼻がむずっただけだ。
ふん、誰かが噂でもしてんじゃねえのか？
さあな。おめえ、爪襟が取りかかってるぞ。喧嘩でもしたのか？
喧嘩っつうか、ヤクザに絡まれた。
ヤクザ？
でも大したことなかったぜ。助けてくれた人がいてさ、近江組ってとこの三代目若頭の奥さんだって言ってたけど、切符のいい綺麗な姉さんだったな。
近江組の。そうか、若さん、所帯を持ちなすったか。
親父、いつもは眉間にシワばっか寄せてるくせに、なんで近江組の若頭の話が出た途端、そんな優しい目すんだよ。近江組って親父が昔世話になった組なんだろ？
ああ、まあな。
親父は俺の本当の親じゃない。10年くらい前まではヤクザだった。でも組を出て俺んちの軒先で倒れてたのを偶然おふくろに助けられたんだ。なんで辞めたんだ？嫌になったのか？
ただ俺が未熟だった、それだけのことだ。
親父は元気になるとおふくろが切り盛りしていた小料理屋で働いて、今度は俺たちを助けてくれた。俺の本当の父親は俺が生まれてすぐ死んじまったから。だから無口だけど男らしい親父は俺の憧れだったんだ。それだけか。それから何年かしておふくろが病気で死んだ時、身寄りのいない俺に親父は一緒に来るかって言って手を差し伸べてくれた。親父、昔俺に言ったよな。お前は若に似てるって。それって近江組三代目若頭のことなんだろ？
そんなこと言ったか？
言ったさ。
そうか、覚えてね
若頭の話になると親父は決まってはぐらかすんだ。でも俺には分かってる。親父は俺とその若頭を重ねているんだ。いつもはニコリともしない親父がお前は若に似てるって言った時だけ優しい顔で笑ってた。
え。上着貸してみろ。爪襟直しといてやる。
ああ。親父は多分若頭が好きなんだと思う。でも俺はそれを認めたくない。だって俺が親父に向けていた憧れはいつの間にか別のものに変わっていたことに気づいたからだ。それって親父、組に帰りたいって思ったりしないのか？
なんだ、やぶから棒に。
若さんが結婚したこと知らなかったんだろ？
そうだな。一度ご挨拶に行ってくるか。なんだ変な顔しやがって。ほら、できたぞ。
俺は心のどこかで近江組とはもう何の関係もないと親父に言ってほしいんだと思う。もし親父が俺を捨てて組に戻ってしまったら、俺は親父どこにも行かないよな。
行くってどこにだ？もう夜遅いぞ。早く寝ろ。
そうする。おやすみ。親父、若さんのことなんか忘れて俺だけを見てくれよ。俺はいや、育ての親とはいえ親父は俺の父親なんだ。しかも男にこんな感情を抱くなんて。
仕事帰りの一杯はうまいね。なあ銀さん、大将は？
はい、今夜てめえ一人でごぜやす。いらっしゃい。
兄貴、ここっすよ、ここ。あのガキの店。
潰されたメンツ分きっちり詫び入れてもらうか。
いらっしゃい。
おお、なんだこの店、しけてんな。おい親父、酒だ酒、酒持ってこい。
あれはゴンドウんちの小せがれじゃねえか。図体がでかくなっただけで中身は成長してねえようだな。
なんだこの酒、薄いぞ。こんなの俺たちに飲まそうってのか。つまみも安もんだしよ。
お客さん、他のお客さんの迷惑になりやす。ちったし。
この店は客に説教たれんのか。
お客様は神様だろ。おい親父、何か言ったらどうだよ。店も親父もほんと神気臭いぜ。
だったらお前らでケーキつけてやれや。
よっしゃ。
ほら、どかねえと怪我するぜ。
いい加減にしやせ。
なんだと。
てめえはここを任されたに店を守る義務がございやす。
うるせえ。あれ、お前どっかでお前銀次じゃねえか。近江組の銀次だろ。
へい、思い出していただきやした。
ああ、なんでお前が。くそ。おい、出直すぞ。
兄貴、
出直すってんだ。まさかあのクソ生意気なガキがおめえのガキだったとはな。
ガキ？ああ、ナチのことですかい。奴が何かご迷惑でも。
奴が何かだととぼけやがって。あのな。
黙ってろ。なんでもねえよ。ああ、そうだ、銀次知ってっか。蘭丸のやつ結婚したんだぜ。嫁はあの薫だ。
そうですかい。
だがな、あの野郎、あんないい女と結婚できたくせに嫁ほったらかして妙なイタリア男に熱を上げやがってよ。と、お前に愚痴ってもしゃあねえか。まあいいや、迷惑料だ。取っときな。
あの若さんが姉さんを掘ってよその男に入れ上げてるだって。おい待て。今の話本当か。
何の話？
近江組の若さんがイタリア男といい仲だった話だ。
前にどっかのいた子が近江の若頭をさらって外国人の金持ちに売り飛ばそうとしてよ。あの時は兄貴がヘリを飛ばして助けに行ってやったんだ。なんだかんだ言っても近江のやつは兄貴に世話になってるってことよ。
それで若さんはどうなったんだ。
助かったぜ。もちろん兄貴のおかげでな。でも近江はまだ狙われてるみてえだな。そういや昨日もいた子と歩いてるの見たぜ。あの男、R とか言ったか。確かコスモなんとかっていうでっけえ船の船長らしいが、あれだけ透かしてやろうで裏があるに違えねえ。あっちのマフィアと繋がってんじゃねえか。
おい、何やってんだ。行くぞ。
すいません。おっさん、話してくんね。
若さん。10年ぶりか。このお屋敷はちっとも変わってない。おやっさん、おかみさん、若さん、ちゃんと挨拶ができず申し訳ございません。てめえはまだここの敷居をまたぐことはできんのです。せめて庭から一目だけでも皆さんのお姿を。
おい、薫、俺の携帯知らねえか。
携帯使い方知らない？
うるせえ。携帯持ってっつったのおめえだろうが。
若さん、立派になられて。 おやっさんの若い頃にそっくりだ。なんも変わっちゃいねえ。あの頃と同じいい目をしていなさる。
せっかく最新のやつ買ったのに使う前からなくしてどうすんのよ。
いちいちうるせえんだよ。
親父、朝から様子がおかしかったから後つけてきたら、ここって近江組のお屋敷じゃねえか。まさか親父組に帰るつもりなのか。あれ、親父もう出てきた。涙、もしかして泣いてたのか。親父、このうちで何があったんだよ。でも俺が聞いたって答えてくれるわけねえよな。だったらごめんください。すいません。
あなた
この前はどうも。
来てくれたのね。
先日のお礼を言いたくて。
わざわざありがとう。来てくれて嬉しいわ。玄関で立ち話もなんだから、どうぞ上がって。
客か。こいつ。
お前は若に似ているな。
本当だ、似てる。もしかして俺がこいつに似てたから親父は俺を引き取ったのか。
とにかく上がってよ。
はい、お邪魔します。でかい家だな。これが親分さんの家か。
はいお茶、ゆっくりしてってね。
ありがとうございます。
しかし見れば見るほど俺と似てやがんな。おめえ親父の隠し子なんじゃねえのか。おふくろが留守でほんとよかったぜ。バレたら戦争だぞ。
なーにバカ言ってんのよ。今お父様と2人で住んでるのよね。ね、お父様ってどんな人なの？
父は板前です。
それで？
で、無口で真面目だけが取り柄の人間です。
へえ、板前で無口た銀次みてえだな。
銀次って？
おう、10年くらい前にうちで板前やってた男だ。その頃の俺は反抗期ってやつで妙に尖ったりしたもんだったが、銀次の言葉だけは素直に聞いた。俺が腹割って話せたのは銀次くらいのもんだったぜ。
その人は今どうしてるんですか？
さあな、旅に出たままそれっきりだ。けどあいつはあいつなりに考えがあってのことじゃねえかって俺は思ってる。
親父、さっきこの屋敷から出てきたのに若頭に会ってないのか？あの涙って。
控えめな男だったけどけじめをわきまえる男でな。俺がガキの頃ずいぶん世話になったんだ。いつかわかんねえが俺はまた銀次に会えると思ってる。そしたら世話になった恩を返してな。
ほら、どうしちゃったの？黙っちゃって。お腹すいた？なんか食べる？
いえ、お構いなく。
遠慮すんなよ。袖すり合うも多少の縁って言うだろう。それに俺とお前は顔が似てるし他人とは思えねえよ。ダチの家だと思ってくつろいでってくれ。
ありがとうございます。
じゃあピザ取りましょうか。近江って言えば10分ですっ飛んでくるわよ。
カオル、辛いのトッピングすんなよ。
わかってるわよ。
二人とも気さくでいい人だな。カオルさんは美人で切符がいいし、若さんも男気があって、親父が惚れ込むのもわかる気がする。俺なんて取り柄もないし、この人たちにはかなわないな。
権藤の舎弟に妙な話を聞いてから3日の間、俺は心で詫びながらずっと若さんを尾行し続けた。若さんは簡単に罠にはまるようなお人じゃねえ。そんなことは百も承知だ。だが
キャプテン、お疲れ様です。
お疲れ様。しばらく出てくるから留守番よろしく頼むよ。
イエスさ。
前にどっかのいた子が近江の若頭をさらって外国人の金持ちに売り飛ばそうとしてよ。でっけえ船の船長らしいが、あれだけすかした野郎だ。裏があるに違えねえ。
今その男がすぐ先にいる。コンテナの陰から様子を伺う限り、本当のところはまだわからねえが、若さんはあの男に気を許していなさる。なぜだ。
だがな、あの野郎、あんないい女と結婚できたくせに妙なイタリア男に熱を上げやがってよ。
権藤のせがれが言っていたことは本当なのか。まさか。
Hey, Mr. Valentine.
黒のスーツがとてもお似合いですね、コルレオーネさん。今日はどうなさるご予定ですか？
せっかく日本に来たのだから、どこかで買い物でもしようと思う。おすすめの店はないかね。君がデートで行くようなところがいいな。そういえば君、東洋人の恋人がいるんだってね。
なんだ、奴ら何を喋っている。しかもあの男、黒スーツにサングラスなんて、まるで映画に出てくるマフィアのようななりじゃねえか。
ええ、It's said ランマルといってとってもキュートな恋人です。二人でいろいろなところへ行きますが、ご予算的にはどのくらいですか？
そうだな、娘への土産に$10,000、1万ドルくらいの着物を。
それでしたら。
ランマル。確かにランマルと聞こえた。それにドルがどうとか。まさかあの外国人、本当に若さんを外国へ売り飛ばすつもりなのか。
ランマル。
では私はこれで。ありがとう。
気をつけていってらっしゃいませ。
まだ仕事中だったのか。なんか邪魔しちまったみてえだな。でもなんだ今のおっさん、ニタニタして俺のこと見やがって。
失礼しました。日本に初めて来られた乗客なので、あなたの着流し姿に目を引かれたのでしょう。
やろう。さてはマフィアに品定めさせるために若さんをここへ呼んでいやがったな。
今日はランマルのおすすめの店へ連れて行ってくださいませんか？
俺の一番は地元の焼き鳥屋だけどよ。とりあえずこの近所で江戸前の寿司屋でも探してみるか。
ええ、いいですね。
あんな純真な若さんをたぶらかしやがって。あの野郎絶対許さねえ。あの男の尻尾を掴んで何があっても若さんを守らねえと。不当から2人をつけてきたが、一体どこへ行くつもりなんだ。
なんか寂しいところに出ちまったな。引き返すか？
いいじゃないですか、このままで。
でも人通りも少ねえし、くたびれた飲み屋の看板と野良猫ぐらいしかいねえぜ。
ええ、でも意外なところに隠れた名店があるというでしょう。それ
におまやめろっての。
若さんに気安く触りやがって。
混雑したところよりずっと落ち着きますよ。何よりランマルと一緒なのですから。
じゃあこの先をもう少し行ってみるか。
え
え。どうしたアル？どこ見てんだ？
ああ、いえ、何でもありません。
変なやつ。腹減ってきたな。寿司屋はどこだと。
どうやら誰かが僕たちを尾行しているようですね。でも何のために？ 今事を荒立てず相手の出方を見ることにしましょう。ランマル、あそこのビルの脇に花が備えられていますね。あれは？
ああ、多分鉄砲玉ってやつだ。
鉄砲玉？
あの建物は確かここいらじゃ結構顔の立つ親分さんの持ちビルだ。その親分さんの玉狙って、でもわかんねえか。つまり頭の命を狙ってよその組員が特攻を仕掛けてきたんだ。
ヒットマンですか？
まあそんなもんだな。だが組長にたどり着く前にやられちまうことだって少なくないんだ。あの花、おそらく若えもんが無茶しやがったんだろうな。いや、無茶なことしてんのはそいつに命じたやつか。
では僕たちをつけ回している男の目的はまさか。
よしんばことを成し遂げたとしても殺人罪は免れねえし、鉄砲玉になった瞬間そいつは人生を棒に振ることになる。だからよっぽどの事情があるか相当の忠義を持ってるやつじゃなきゃ無理だろうけどな。
あなたは近江組の若頭なのでしょう。誰かに狙われることはないですか？
俺か？俺なんぞ狙ったところで何にもならねえよ。
でも
そんな顔すんな。俺が消えて喜ぶやつなんざ薫を狙ってた権藤ぐれえなもんだ。
ではさっきから僕たちを監視しているあの男は一体何者？ラマルに気づかれないよう何か接触する手立ては。そうだ、携帯電話を利用して。すみません、仕事場からです。少し外しますね。すぐに済みますからここで待っていてください。
おう。
はい、もしもし。はい、どうも。ええ、はい。そうですか。わかりました。男を見つけた。
若さんから離れて誰と話してやがるんだ。もしや組織と連絡を取っているのか。くそ、見失った。あの野郎、トラックに隠れてどこ行きやがったんだ。くそ。ずっと
ランマルを見ていました。
何のことだ？
我々を尾行していたでしょう。ランマルから手を引いてください。僕は彼を危ない目に遭わせるわけにはいきません。あなたがランマルから離れないのなら手荒な手段を取ることになりますよ。
てめえの獲物を横取りされると思って脅しに来たのか。あんたにとって若さんはよほど大きな獲物らしいな。もとよりこの命捨てる覚悟はとうにできている。
この男、やはりどこかの組の鉄砲玉なのですね。それにこの真剣な眼差し、本気で命を懸けているようです。この人にどんな事情があるにしろ、これ以上ランマルを付け狙うのであれば僕も全てをかけて戦うまで。
俺は10年前自分の勝手で組を飛び出したが、おやっさんや若さんへの忠義は今だって変わっちゃいねえ。
あるのやつ、電話だっつってどこまで行っちまったんだ。あれ、兄貴、あれは。
よう、近江の。こんなところでボケっと突っ立って何してやがんだ。まさか東京でも迷子になっちまったんじゃねえだろうな。
権藤、てめえこそ子分引き連れて遠足か。
この近くの親分さんに挨拶しに来たんだよ。それより昔おめんとこで板前やってた銀次が帰ってきてること、なんで黙ってたんだ。
何の話だ、知らねえぞ。
てめえが知らねえはずねえだろ。しかも野郎ガキまでこさえやがって。おかげで俺は薫の前でとんだ恥かいちまったじゃねえか。
ああ、聞いてねえよ。
とぼけやがって。 あ？それともおめえ薫とうまくいってねえのか？そうか、知らねえってことはビンゴだな。せっかくの政略結婚がもう破談か。そりゃ気の毒にな。まあおめえとは幼なじみだ。世間体もあるだろうから、今の話俺の胸の内に留めておいてやってもいいぜ。
バカ言ってんな。話があさっての方向いてるぞ。
ごまかすなって。所詮薫はおめえの手に負えるような女じゃなかったんだよ。だからあのすかしたやさ男についほだされちまったんだろ。
やさ男ってあるのこと言ってんのか。てめえ、あいつを悪く言うのは許さねえぞ。
あれ、顔が赤くなってんぞ。なあ。
本当だとにかくあいつは今関係ねえ。
分かった分かった。あのイタリア人に入れ上げるのはおめえの勝手だからな。だがな、都政の義理や仁義も何もかも忘れてあの男にうつつ抜かしてると、そのうち薫に慰謝料がっぽり絞り取られるぞ。
黙って聞いてりゃいい気になりやがって。いつ俺が仁義を忘れたんだ。ちょっとあれかもしれないけど、てめえに言われる筋合いはねえぞ。だいたいてめえが薫の前で恥をかこうが誰の前で恥をかこうが、そりゃ自業自得ってもんだろうが。
んだぞ。俺がいつ薫以外のやつの前で恥をかいたってんだ。なめた口聞きやがって。俺はおめえにコケにされるのだけは我慢ならねえんだ。おい野郎ども、やっちまえ。
叫んな。野郎どもやっちまえは昔からお前の上等文句だもんな。どこ行くにもガキの遠足みたいにゾロゾロ子分連れ回しやがって。知ったら成長しろよ。
言いやがったな。時代錯誤の着流しとせったから卒業できねえのはどっちだ。
ではどうしても引かないというのですね。
ああ、
おめえら遠慮はいらねえぞ。今度こそやっちまえ。
上等だ。
ランマル、
若さん。近江のてめえ本当にムカつく野郎だぜ。
兄貴、やっちまいやしょ。
ザクはすっかんだろ。
ランマル、加勢します。
若さん。
銀次、お前銀次じゃねえか。
話は後です。まずはこいつらを。
なんだよ、汚ねえぞ。急に味方増やしやがってよ。天下の関東九流会の若頭権藤隆二様が乱闘騒ぎで留置所に放り込まれるとは情けねえ。情けなくて涙が出るぜ。
なんとか逃げ切れると思ったんすけどね。
おめえは暴走族か。
銀次、久しぶりじゃねえか。
お久しゅうございます。若さん、ご挨拶に伺えず申し訳ございません。
俺はお前が元気でいてくれるだけで嬉しいんだぜ。でもおめえ変わんねえな。あ、やっぱちょっと老けたか。
若さん、ああ、やっぱり若は昔と全く変わっちゃいねえ。こんな若を騙そうとしているイタリア野郎、絶対許すわけにいかね
え。ランマル、こちらの方は？
おう、こいつは銀次っつって昔俺の組の板前だった男よ。
え、近江組の板前さん？ではなぜ我々をつけ回していたのです？
若さん、そいつから離れておくんなせえ。
どうした銀次、何焦ってんだ。つけ回してたってどういうことだ。
こいつは若さんを騙して外国へ売り飛ばそうとしていやがるんだ。
え、僕がですか？大きな誤解があるようですが、でも合点がいきました。この人は僕から蘭丸を守ろうとしてずっと後をつけていたのですね。
そいつは間違いだ。アルは敵じゃねえぞ。
しかし そいつは外国のでっかい船の船長で、船着き場で怪しい外国人と話してやしたんです。あっしは海外の言葉はよく分かりやせんが、あれは和歌を売るための商談なんじゃないかと。
あの方は船の常連客ですよ。ショッピングに最適な場所を聞かれたので予算を伺ったのです。それに恋人について聞かれたので蘭丸のことを話したまでです。
恋人って、お前客に何話してんだよ。恥ずかしい野郎だな。
いけませんでしたか？でも本当のことでしょ。
恋人？近江の薫に見下り半突きつけられたら俺が腕の立つ弁護士世話してやっからな。安心しな。
うるせえ、黙ってろ。そんなことより銀次、お前なんだってアルのことを悪者だなんて思ったんだ？
えい、権藤の舎弟から聞きまして、何でも若がいたこうにさらわれて外国人の金持ちに売り飛ばされそうになったことがあったとか。その若を権藤の小せがれがヘリを飛ばして助けたんだと言って自慢しておりやした。そのいたこうがまだ若を狙っていると。あっしはてっきり。
そいつは誤解だ。確かに俺は一度海外で危険な目に遭ったことがある。けどその時体を張って助けてくれたのは権藤じゃねえ、このアルだ。
まさかそんな。ってことはあっしはデマに踊らされて若の恩人になってことを。すいません若、よく確かめもせず軽率な行動を。
いや、いい。元はといえば権藤の舎弟が適当なことを言ったのが原因だろう。たくしょうがねえやつだなあ権藤。
てめえ大ボラ吹きやがって。
僕は蘭丸を身を挺して守ることはあっても傷つけるような真似は絶対にしません。彼は僕の大切な人ですから。
てめえが若さんの恋人だってのか？
アルはまあなんだ。
若さん、
最初は日本オタクの変なイタリア人くらいにしか思わなかったけどな。
おやおや、そんな風に思われていたとは。でも今は違うでしょ。僕はたとえ全てを失ってもあなたが欲しい。あなただけを愛しています。深く強く、片時も離れられないほど情熱的に。
まあこいつはこんなこっぱずかしいことを臆面もなく言えるイタリア野郎だな。俺みてえな対面ばっかり気にしちまう古臭い人間にはかえってまっすぐ気持ちをぶつけてくるのが響いてよ。いつの間にか。まああれだ、薫は俺にとってかけがえのない家族だが、アルはそれとは違う。俺の一番大事な人間なんだ。
蘭丸。
銀次、信じられねえか？
いや、そうじゃないんです。若がこんな大事な話をあっしにしてくれたことが嬉しいんです。それをとんだ勘違いをしてしまって。
銀次さん、先ほどあなたは僕にこう言った。もとよりこの命捨てる覚悟はとうにできていると。あなたは蘭丸のために命も捨てる覚悟だったということですね。
ああ、そうだ。
あなたの蘭丸への忠義は本物なのでしょうね。
ああ、
僕も同じです。彼のためなら命を懸けてもいいと思っている。
銀次、俺もだ。
あっしの勘違いだったってことはよくわかりやした。それに若さんがこの人を思うお気持ちも。でもだからこそこの人が本当に若さんにふさわしい人間なのか、若さんを託してもいいのか、てめえで見極めたいんです。
え？
あっしは今からてめえに決闘を申し込む。
銀次、お前。
銀次さん、その決闘お受けします。
おいおい、おめえまで何言ってんだ。
若さん、銀次の勝手をどうか許してやってください。
まったくおめえら、仕方ねえ。分かったぜ。
では明朝7時不当でどうですか。
いいだろう。
痛いな。
おお。
親父、
お前どうして。
迎えに来たに決まってんだろ。何やってんだよ。
あれ、お前、親父って銀次。
どうもご迷惑をおかけしました。ほら行くわよ、あんたたち。ねえ、銀次さんって10年前に旅に出たのよね。でナッチ君が確か18歳って、計算が合わないじゃない。
実はこいつの両親はこいつが幼い時に他界して、それで他に身寄りがなかったもんで足が。
そうか、道理で似てねえわけだ。
けどナチはあっしにとっちゃ誰よりも大事な我が子でさ。
そうだろうよ。俺は若頭に似てるんだもんな。でも俺は俺だ。若頭の代わりなんかじゃない。なんで俺だけを見てくれないんだよ。
銀次の息子とあっちゃ身内も同然だ。何か困ったことがあったら力になるぜ。
話せ。俺は親父の息子なんかじゃない。
おめえ何言ってんだ。
あんたは俺の親なんかじゃない。
確かに俺は人様に自慢できるような親じゃねえ。それは悪いと思ってる。
そうじゃない、そうじゃない。俺はあんたを一人の男として見てるって意味だ。
ナチ、おめ
えずっと物心ついた時からずっとあんたは俺だけのもんだった。確かにあんたは育ての親かもしれないけど、俺にとってはそれ以上の存在なんだ。若頭に似てる俺じゃなくて、ありのままの俺を見てくれよ。まだ一人前じゃねえけど、これからそうなるから、若頭を思うような気持ちを俺にも。くそ、こんなこと言うつもりなんかなかったのに。
どうしたの？追いかけなきゃ。あの子はあなたを必要としている。あなたのことが好きなのよ。
しかし
あのね、蘭丸は私の理解者だし、私たちは同志なの。だから何があっても私は蘭丸を見捨てないわ。龍二のバカが何を言ってもね。ねえ、あの子にとってあなたは一番の理解者なんでしょ。今あの子に背中を向けちゃダメよ。
銀次、薫の言う通りだぜ。
ナチ、そんな風に俺のことを思っていたとは。若さん、姉さん、自分にけじめをつけられねえ人間にナチを追っかける資格はございません。奴ももうガキじゃねえ。どこかで頭を冷やしてくるでしょう。あっしは明日のアルさんとの決闘にかけます。
銀次、おめえ。よし、明日の決闘俺がちゃんと見届けるぜ。
決闘するの？この私を差し置いて蘭丸をかけて決闘なんて、一体どういうこと？なんか盛り上がっててそんなこと言える雰囲気じゃないけど、これも男の世界ってやつなのかしら。そういうことにしておきましょう。
朝か。ナチのやつ、結局一晩帰ってこなかったな。時間だ。
晒しに着流しセッタ脇には小刀ですか。いかにもといったいでたちですね。やはり決闘するからにはそうでないと。
ごたくはいい。さっさと始めよう。
蘭丸、僕はあなたのために勝ちます。
いいか、この決着は俺がきっちり見届けてやる。何の手出しもしねえ。だがな、もし勝負がつく前に止めたとしても、それは俺の判断だ。俺に従ってもらう。いいな。
はい、
わかりました。
てめえ丸腰なのか。ならこいつはいらねえな。
つけ入る隙がない。どうやら見かけ倒しではなさそうですね。
いい目をしている。それに隙もねえ。これはかなりの腕だな。どうするか。うわー！こいつ早い。
手加減していないのに倒れないとは。手強いですね。
てめえもな。だが強靭な精神と肉体を兼ね備えていなければ蘭丸坊ちゃんはてめえには任せられない。ナチ、どうしてこんなところに。
隙あり。
そこまでだ。
親父。
ナチ、お前。
俺が呼んだんだ。
ちゃんと携帯持っててくれるから助かるわ。どっかの誰かと違って。
銀次が決闘するってんだ。ナチにはお前の生き様を見届ける権利がある。銀次、そうだろ。
ナチ、見ての通りだ。俺は無様に負けちまった。
親父。
俺はおめえとずっと一緒にいたってのに、おめえの気持ちにこれっぽっちも気づいてやれなかった。まだまだ修行が足りねえな。だがこれからもずっと親として一人の男としておめえのことを見守っていくつもりだ。俺についてきてくれるか。
当たり前だろ。親父には俺が必要だし、俺にも親父が必要なんだ。
そうだな。たく、いつの間にか大人びたこと言うようになりやがって。
親父が気づかなかっただけだろ。戦ってる親父かっこよかったぜ。
アルさん、今までの無礼を許してください。どうか和歌を頼みます。
わかりました。
若さん、元気なお姿を拝見できてよかったです。これからもお幸せに。
銀次、おめえも元気でな。いつかナチと一緒に戻ってこいよ。待ってるからな。
はい、若さん。姉さんもお元気で。
若さん、俺あんたに嫉妬してた。親父があんたのことを嬉しそうに話すからさ。でも親父があんたのことを気に入るのが分かったよ。あんたのおかげでこの先も親父と一緒にいることができたしな。
おう、俺もおめえに会えてよかったぜ。銀次は任せたからな。
ああ、俺がついてるから大丈夫。
皆さん、世話になりやした。
また行っちまったぜ。
ええ。
男の世界って熱いわ。
おいおい、なんだよ。まさかもう終わっちまったのか。 せっかくお前らのちんけな余興を見に来てやったのによ。たく人騒がせな奴らだぜ。そういやカオル、慰謝料釣り上げる相談ならいつでも乗るからな。
何が？慰謝料って誰のよ？ああ、そうだ、思い出したわ。あんた昔私がお風呂入ってるとこ覗いたらしいじゃないの。
なんでそれを。
何でも知ってるのよ。
そんなのガキの頃の話じゃねえか。
へえ、兄貴にもそういう時期があったんすね。
うるせえ、帰るぞ。
ちょっと逃げる気？待ちなさいよ。
蘭丸、明日の朝は出港です。別れの挨拶は2人だけでさせてください。
そうか。今回の来日もあっという間だったな。
ええ。今夜は話しません。いいですね。蘭丸、僕は嬉しかった。何のことだかわかりますか？
なんだ、言ってみろ。ある。
あなたが僕のことを一番大事だと言ってくれたこと、
そのことか。
あなたはなかなか言ってくれませんからね。
男がんなこと軽々しく人前で言えるか。バカ。
でもあなたは僕の前で言ってくれた。嬉しかったです。蘭丸、愛しています。離れていてもずっとあなただけを。
ああ、俺もだ。愛してる。
蘭丸、おはよう。よく眠れましたか？
ああ、爆睡した。昨べは久しぶりだったからな。腰痛えや。
あなたは本当に可愛い人ですね。
それにしてもお前早起きだな。もう制服着ちまったのか。俺はもうちょっとくっついていたかったのによ。
蘭丸、
ある。俺がお前を思う気持ちは二人きりの時ならいくらだって言葉にして言ってやるぜ。だからそれ以外は勘弁しろよな。
わかりました。いいでしょう。時間はたっぷりあるのですから。
あ？何言ってんだ。お前今日出発だろ？
ええ。でも
なんだこの音。
何って船のエンジンです。
なんだって？
帝国通りの出港です。
止めろ、今すぐ止めろ。俺を降ろせ。
無理ですよランマル。こうなったらこのままイタリアに戻ってハネムーンしましょう。
バカ野郎！なんで俺を起こさなかったんだ！おい、ブレーキかけろ！
Fortunately, we just can't quite live. The warlords are just strong enough. I mean, I really need to get my own bears online. Just very expensive. But I will get 6 really soon, which is a very good thing. I think I just have to go bears, right? I don't think we can get our next hero yet, unfortunately. I think we have too much scaling to do still on our army. The play that I really want to make here, that I think that would actually make a difference, is possibly just to try a Hippo Flood, but let's see how much of... see how many Gargs are going to leak into this. He has a lot of Gargs, so it's like... This is a gamble for sure, but... But the truth is that if we can get a good... we lose too many hippos, right? But we're hoping to split the next wave and do this before the Infernal hits. Fortunately, he just has too many frost worms at this point, I guess. Yeah, and unfortunately bears are just like a pretty bad unit to resurrect, all in all. I need items, I need a second hero, I need more bears, I need more of everything. Need tanks maybe even eventually. Need items, my pally. Now, unfortunately, we really wish we spent on... Man, if we had spent on the tanks instead, we would be in a better spot now. Okay, he has bats.
We must lend aid to our allies.
Honestly, I probably just need to be going tanks now. There's a lot of fucking Gargs and Chims and shit. Fortunately, we don't even get to save our Divine Shield. I think we're dead here. I think these all have to go. I think we have to just make, it was a gambit. We tried to buy some time with that, but didn't work. Now we need tanks. Yeah, I mean, not having destroyers here is like pretty misery. Now we probably have to go hero next, but we're way behind, right? I don't know why he has 5 glaives. Was this good? I should have a unit forward. I'll spit now. Now, it went better with the tanks, that's for sure. Shadow Hunter here. Really nice. Alright, let's get our second hero. Alright, Shadow Hunter, very good. Like that all day, all day, all day. Sucks that the Divine Shield popped, actually. I should have turned it off. This is a bad toggle. I mean, having Shadow Hunters here does seem pretty good. Seems like we could make it work eventually, at least.
Make it fast.
Get 1/1 here.
Speak your mind. In position.
Did he silence me? Oh, that sucks. Okay, so that's probably the game right there. Nice pick with the Dark Ranger. I feel like our Paladin was our only chance of winning the game. And this is why I hate Paladin. I mean, against, like, bad players, then it works, but, like, you eventually, like, fight somebody who knows at all what they're doing, and then you just get owned as soon as they build one unit. Purge, Dream the Silence. Yeah, I can try. Just toggle Purge, like right when he's about to die, and hope. I guess. This looks bad, though. I think we're just dead, right?
More gold is required.
One, 3. Good game. Yeah, maybe Huntresses are just illegal. I don't know. I don't know. You would take DK into Ghouls, Duchess? I actually don't remember what choice I had. I don't like Pally either. There was no other choice. Yeah, you made it look almost playable. It is almost playable, almost until your opponent plays a silence ability, then it's not playable. Yeah, I mean this was like a Giga like fucked AT match, right? His Quark is actually lower, but we had a 2500 versus a 2100 mid lane here. It's like pretty bad. Yeah. I mean, I will say that like these couple of games where I've played Huntresses, we've gotten really bad hero selections for dealing with ghouls. Like normally you're hoping to get any AoE hero or whatever. You can even deal with like even if you have to play like MK or something like that or Demon Hunter, you might be able to make those work. But yeah, getting stuck on like value heroes is really bad with Huntresses. So, I wonder if there was any. I mean, we had some mid-game opportunities where our fight was really close into the bears. I feel like maybe there was a turn where if we just like sold all of our Huntresses and made all Frostworms, maybe it would have worked. The turn where we came out with our first Frostworm, we just sell every Huntress there. Let's make all Frostworms. See if we can crush them that way. Because then after that, you're like getting rid of the Huntresses and you want to make bears anyway. So, I don't know. I'll say something else about this game. We actually probably could have kept some of our early momentum, but we had a Zug's mind just because he had a decent wave or something like that. And yeah, we weren't able to keep momentum after that. They're mega gambles, but sometimes you have to. Everything's a gamble, right? Like, keeping all my Huntresses is gambling that they're going to be useful enough to beat whatever my opponent has. Which turned out to be wrong. I'll say something else about playing Paladin in that exact draft. Part of the reason why I was okay with it was because I didn't have Necro. But playing with bears is like pretty mediocre, right? Like the bears don't transform, so I don't know. You're not actually left with like a very good army that you res. It's not like playing it with like Torn Walker or something. And the other problem with it is that because we have such a crazy comp, like we're on like Shaman, Bear, Frostworm, Tank, so we can make like a really giga army. But the problem is all of that is cost a lot of money, and we're not able to like spend on pally items and get all of those like army nice to haves as well. So you're like kind of split in two different directions. So I feel like pally is better played in like the non-scaling comps usually. But yeah, then the moment my opponent has a silence, then it's like fucked anyway. I mean, Duchess, the problem is that we had reasonable chances of actually turning that in the mid game, right? We were actually really close a lot of times. I also think that in order for Paladin to turn a game properly, you actually need the game to be kind of close, right? So if you 3-mine, you're really setting back like your army power and your and thus like your paladin's like level to ability to like stack and scale and stuff. So I don't actually feel like just building like one extra mine would have made a huge difference there. Hey, what's up, Cooler? Zoso took the bullet of the AT away from me. That's nice of him. I'll be right back. Unfortunately, the Q boss is quite strong today. I think everybody's busy watching the Age of Empires tournament, most likely. I don't really think there's too many matches for us at the moment. Only 2,000 plus games going, and actually, even among all of these people, there's nearly nobody within 200 MMR even. I'm not even that high. But we'll just chill for a little bit. Listen to some relaxing music, and hopefully we'll get a game soon. Gives me time for snacks. Nice job, Crueler. Is it only 50-50 to improve? I would say it's 75-25, right? I mean, anything, if you have Shaman, like anything is better than Ogre. You're never going to build an Ogre if you have Bear Shaman, right? How is it 50-50? It's not that I would build evokers often if I got them. At the end of the day, I don't think it made any difference. I don't think that there was any E mercenary that was better than what I had, right? If you can build uncountered bears, you're never building Deathsworn either. Like, you're always going to make bears over Deathsworn. I think... Yeah, I'm not sure, Fury. I mean, the thing is, the Paladin was the only reason why we were staying in the game, right? Like, while it was stacking. Because we actually were able to, like, split our opponent's army and actually stack, like, really well once. And if your Pally doesn't have any items, then even if he does stack, he's not going to make enough of a difference. But... So, I was in a position where I felt like Evoker or Warlord we would have built. Would we? Would we have built Warlords? Maybe, man, maybe. But, like, are they really better than Frostworms there? I don't know. Maybe if we have Warlords, we just play all ground or something and don't build any Frostworms. You just play, like tank. I guess it would have been something better to res sometimes, maybe. I felt like our win condition was the Pally stacking. That's how it is, right? It's not about like what army is like very slightly more value versus them, because that doesn't actually matter. Having your army be like very slightly more powerful when you're like 80% behind or something actually doesn't really matter that much. You need to have a gambit in order to get back in the game once you're that far behind. And Paladin is it, right? Paladin is the only win condition that we had. So from that perspective, I think that we had to put some items on Paladin. It was too bad that we had to miss out on like really high value units and stuff in order to do that. Maybe the Guardians were bad. That could have been one thing that I built that was bad there. I don't know. Maybe it's like if they have that much shit to dispel, like actually the incremental value of a few dispels like isn't that worth it for Guardians. I'll be right back. I think that if you could guarantee me that those were my hero choices, then I probably would have just tier 3 rushed there. But there was a lot of like good hero choices as well, right? Like it isn't... I mean, getting pushed on playing Paladin... I mean, it's probably at least like a bottom 20% hero choice there. I think if I knew I had to play Paladin or nothing there, then Paladin or something worse, then I probably would have like tried to like stall with Shaman and go bears or something. I don't even know. Hey guys, any news on Warcraft 4? Yeah, I mean it's funny. I watched the Back to Warcraft segment on the Warcraft 4 leaks, if you want to call them that. I mean, it's like a single slide that people are trying to interpret to mean Warcraft 4, and it's like, I don't know, it sounds like the entire thing sounds like a real stretch to me. Like, for one thing, it doesn't even sound like they're calling it Warcraft 4 like internally. It sounds like they're like thinking of some kind of mobile game or something like that. And then even if they I don't know, even then it's like, who knows if it's actually real or not. it seems like they're much more hinting at stuff for World of Warcraft, but it's all stuff we kind of already know, like the fact that there's going to be a World of Warcraft Classic Plus, which I hope will be really good. I'll definitely play it if it comes out. But I have a hard time looking at those slides and feeling like, yep, even if you took them at face value, which I honestly would have a really hard time doing, even if you do take them at face value, it doesn't feel super hopeful for Warcraft 4. But hey, I would love it if there's Warcraft 4. Fuck it. I want Warcraft 4 to primarily be direct strike. That Blizzard didn't want to miss the boat on auto battlers the same way they've kind of done, I don't know, with the entire MOBA genre. I don't know, you could even say the tower defense genre. You could say there's all of these games that have come out of Warcraft 3 or StarCraft 2 custom games, and they've kind of missed the boat on all of them somehow, which is kind of insane. So maybe they saw the hype of direct strike a year ago and was like, you know what, we have to make a direct strike game that's actually going to be good. And maybe that's what Warcraft 4 is going to be. Maybe it's not going to have anything to do with Warcraft RTS as we know it. Maybe it'll be an auto battler. I think that I have no evidence for that to be the case. However, I do think that it makes a certain degree of logical sense that it could be something that they would look at and want to do. I mean, because every time a certain custom game has really taken off, I would say that the industry since how it happened with Dota, the industry actually pays a lot of attention, right, to the popularity of these random custom games that are being made. But again, it's like speculation on speculation, right? You have to assume that they're real, and then assume that by some chance that what is it actually going to be? Is it going to be the thing that you want or whatever? It's very hard actually to make any kind of good prediction based on that. So anyway, I was in Back to Warcraft's channel and he was talking about the Warcraft 4 leaks, and my single comment in there was they're talking about this Operation Camelot as being the code name for it, and I was like, that sounds like a really weird code name for something that's Warcraft related. The fact that they're not using any of their own internal language, world stuff that they developed, because in a lot of ways you could say that I don't know, Dalaran is the same as Camelot, or I don't know. Why not call it Dalaran? Anyway, it doesn't matter. To be honest, I'm just kind of reaching because there's actually very little to discuss. So really, how much you believe it is how much do you believe? If the only thing that you actually know based on the slide is that there's something called Camelot, then the name is basically all you can speculate over, right? So I'm speculating over the name because that's all there is to the leaks. So yeah. However, I also realize, companies use all sorts of shit for internal names. When I was at a large tech company making networking equipment, we used Star Wars code names internally, which was funny. So all of the components of the product that we were making were named after some of them were named after Jedi, if they were management plane stuff. It was fun. Somehow my phone ended up with the Jar Jar Binks modem. Ghost Recon, yeah, I remember that. You know, it was funny. So that was supposed to be like an N64 game, right? Like that was like in that era, because I first played StarCraft on N64. I have the Nintendo 64 cartridge for StarCraft, and that's how I played. Like me and my sister would just, I don't know. She would mass Goliaths and I would mass battle cruisers, and we would just, you know, ram them into each other and see who won. It was a lot of fun. But I was like very convinced as a kid that there's no way that the controls would work better on a PC than they did on the N64, which is like a really funny opinion to have. I mean, it's how easy it is to have like an opinion that's just wrong, especially if you like don't try something like at all. I was like, yeah, I mean, I definitely want to play StarCraft on a Nintendo 64 controller. There's no way it could be better on mouse and keyboard. I think honestly that DS has a very interesting niche in the gaming market that is not fulfilled by any other game that I'm really aware of. I think the biggest problem with games like Teamfight Tactics is that they and I say it's a problem, and I don't actually mean that's a problem, because some people actually like this, but the fact that there's actually so little interaction with your opponent, much less real-time interaction with your opponent, means that a lot of the time the game is impossible to balance, because you can't actually build like counters and stuff into the game. So you can never, I mean, and again, I say that loosely. I'm sure you can like slightly, you know, everybody like moves all their units around at the last second or whatever to like try and like, I don't know, outposition somebody, but it's like such a minor part of the game. Like you can't notice that somebody's on a counter comp to you and like do something else. Like you kind of have to buckle in. So there's in a lot of ways like Direct Strike kind of had this self balancing. Like if a unit is too good, people will always prepare for that unit and make the counters to it. And because there are counters to it, then it means that like one unit can't just dominate the entire game. And I think that that's like a very, very good thing for a strategy game to have. I think the way that Direct Strike mixes real time with like true strategy game is actually really interesting as well. Like giving you the ability to toggle affects the fight just enough that it's not a pure strategy game, that there's like a 10% micro element to the game or whatever. And that's like a lot to like keep you engaged, keeps you really like focused on the game. So you're not just like alt tabbing in the middle of the game, like waiting for your opponent to take their turn or something. It just gives me more time to yap if I have a longer queue. It's all good. All right, here we go. We got Crueler, Imba, Adventure. Good luck, guys. We get a, please be nice to our 1900. Good luck, y'all. Anyway, all of this is to say that I actually really do hope that someday that we could potentially have a Direct Strike. Okay, all right, what are we doing here? Tier 2, pretty mediocre, especially given that we have this. So I think I'm just going to reroll Tier 2 here. Really not a fan of this either. I guess I could reroll this to try and go for Torn, but I actually feel like maybe I just need to reroll these. Maybe I just reroll here. Ogre Magi. Not exactly what I wanted. Yeah, not too thrilled about this draft, to be honest, but I didn't want to reroll Branded because, I mean, one problem with, like, Footman Banshee is that you can end up in a spot where you don't have a good answer to Ghouls or Footman, so I didn't really want to reroll Branded. Could have rerolled Assassin as well, but we already have Dispel, which is the main thing on Tier 2, other than Assassin, so that doesn't make sense. We could have rerolled A-Bomb to try and get Tauren. Maybe that would have been better than trying to reroll for Deathsworn or Warlords. Yeah, I actually, in hindsight, I think that I probably should have just rerolled Z instead. I think rerolling Z would have been better. I could have also rerolled Griffin. That wouldn't have been crazy either.
Insufficient gold. Insufficient gold.
How do I feel? I think that what we re-rolled into here is definitely better. But we did miss still, right? We definitely hoped for something other than these three. We really wanted Necros here, like because we had Hippos. Like I was thinking that if we got Necros, it would have been really good. Breakers probably were also really good. Brigand's Footman. Really wish I positioned better here. This was really bad positioning. It's always hard. You don't have a lot of time. At this point, we just need to die, right? Let these get into the tower. Yeah, I think we would have won this if we had a position better, but it is what it is.
Building is complete.
This is bad.
Your building is complete. Your building is complete.
Those dryads.
Insufficient gold.
Okay, he's gonna make more.
Your building is complete. Your building is complete.
Scary.
Your building is complete. Your building is complete.
Research complete.
Oh no, they didn't do it. Why didn't they do it? Why did I take level 2 wolves also? That was really bad. I panicked because, okay, so my 2 crypt fiends decided only one of them was going to web the destro. And so instead of getting value in, we, like... I could have killed the 2 destros for free, but it didn't work because they just didn't web. Then we got split. But I had so little time to build, I didn't really know what to do. Don't think it matters, right? I think we lose now.
Our allies' town needs help.
Okay, now our banshees are worthless because we're into yellow. Mine here. Yeah. I mean, that was the difference, right? I had no time to build because I was trying to react to it. I built 2 Crypt Fiends over here. They decide not to web the Destro, and then my entire lane collapses. You have somebody who doesn't build an orb, and entire game gets thrown out the window. But this is also just what happens if you have a like multi-hundred point gap in one of your lanes, right? Finn's tried, but Venture too strong. Vin still has the best lane here, but hopefully getting to let's just say let's stay 2. Fortunately now our banshees are really bad. I don't think they really do anything. Actually, our entire army is bad. Is there anything we can do? Guess I can try and steal priest tech. That's something, right? It doesn't even make sense to do that, right? The problem is we are into somebody with a lot of air. I'm pretty sure the only thing that even makes sense for us to build here is these. And whether or not I would actually be able to get Steel Priest Tech here is like really iffy, right? Ugh. Our only actual chance is that eventually, like, the problem is he even has Deathsworn. I don't see how I could do anything this game. I think I just have to sell the Banshees, right? Trying to possess the Priest isn't even worth it because our lane has Destros leaking into it. And those Destros make it so that we're actually just going to feed. Like, we get even if we get AMS. We can't make any buffs yet. I think we're out of all of these. I think we're probably out of these, most of these as well. I don't think I really have a whole lot of options here. I guess I can make A-bombs. Probably need to make spirit walkers, I guess, to try and dispel. Already has Lich. Yeah, I probably need spirit walkers actually.
Research complete.
I mean, our only actual hope is yellow, right? That maybe yellow can outscale them.
Our allies' town needs help. Your building is complete.
There's no way my lane can ever win, right? He has Blood Mage, so our entire lane is fucked. Like, I can't actually build that many ground units. Potentially have a difficult time with Infernal. I mean, it's the only option, only thing we even have to play for, right?
Your building is complete.
Into 2 Blood Mages, so anything I build on the ground is basically dead. But he actually counters my Hippo Riders as well with MGs. Just be out of the footman. I'll save 1 footman because it'll at least hold off. I can put him forward if I need to.
Your building is complete.
I should probably, you know what I should do? Actually, I should just get another hero. It doesn't matter. I think that we have like 4% chance to win this game. Very precise number, I know. Good enough, I guess.
Our allies' town needs help.
By good enough, I mean, okay, it's just over. Alright, 1-4. I mean, this kind of goes to show you, I mean, this is how good you have to play, like, if you want to climb, because you actually do have to win games somehow when your bottom lane has 300 MMR diff. And it's like, yeah, you have a 300 MMR diff top lane, but like, it's so much easier for a 1900 to throw against a 2.2k. Was it a good game? It was an okay game. Yeah, he had nothing that could hit Destro. And I also made a critical misplay because I made 2 Crypt Fiends, but I made them next to each other, and they decided not to web the 2 Destros, and instead only webbed 1 Destro, and then just like totally ignored the other one. So then my army just like skipped after fighting like one of the Destros, and then my lane was cooked too because I couldn't AMS anymore. Yeah, I mean, he's probably inexperienced enough that he doesn't even know how bad it can turn out if you play into Destro that hard. I mean, you can't really expect that much. I mean, he's a 1900 player. It is what it is. That's just how the matchmaking decided to really, yeah, yep, yeah, really, really hard to win that one. So playing AMS into multiple lanes of Blood Mage is kind of a funny game of chicken, right? It's like the more ground army you build in order to get value from AMS, the worse it is if they then turn out to have Dispel into you. And it's like, and eventually they probably will, right? So you have to like play this like really tight tempo game where if you ever lose the ability to AMS your army, all of a sudden you're like really sunk, right? And that's what happened with the Destros. All of a sudden, Destros are leaking into us. Like if that was Wind Riders leaking into us, I don't think we would have been in nearly as bad of a spot. But because it's Destros, we can no longer AMS. But I don't know. Maybe I just have to play different. Like maybe I'm not winning by enough margin. Like cover up for what my teammates are doing. Tough one. Queues are pretty brutal today. Just chilling till the next one. Let's see how long this one takes. Hopefully we don't get skipped at least. Looks like we got skipped. Unlucky. We want to talk about in the meantime. It feels like a low day for games. I feel like actually even the last few days, I'm guessing that there's just a lot of people watching Age of Empires right now. That's my honest guess. It seems like anytime Grubby's in like a big event or something, it definitely draws a lot of the eyes. I mean, I even have Grubby on sort of in the background. So I have no idea how much people actually care about Age of Empires in the Warcraft 3 community. Um... What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, it would be great to watch a game. I agree. We plan to stream tomorrow. But to be honest, guys, I feel like I may have to just start smurfing. I can't take 30-minute. I'm hoping that at least on Monday or whatever, what'll happen is that we're going to Sorry, it is Monday. Or sorry, I'm hoping that by Monday, people will return to W3 Champions, and maybe there'll be more people queuing. But I think that I can't also play like Direct Strike and stream if there are like 20-minute waits between games. Like, it's just not possible, right? So that would mean smurfing, which I'm not the hugest fan of, to be honest. But it is what it is, right? I mean, if that's the only way to play the game, then we'll do it. And we'll figure out some interesting rule set that keeps me below like 2K. Probably a lot of binds, a lot of teching, but yeah. But it is a bummer. I actually do wish that we could get in some better games here. If nobody's playing, nobody's playing. I think what I'm going to do here, I think I'm just going to call it here, guys. I'm going to go enjoy the Age of Empires tournament, because I imagine that's where everybody else is. And after that, maybe tomorrow we'll try again, see if there's more people online. Maybe Grubby gets eliminated from the tournament, and tomorrow will be better. If not, yeah, I definitely plan to plan a Smurf, probably starting like Monday or something like that. No, thanks for joining, everybody. Sorry I couldn't win some games and or get in any games, but it is what it is, right? Probably go raid 𝕓𝕝𝕔𝕕. Bye, everyone.